This is the second time in this video. It's going to be a study of Isaiah. This book tells us to read this book, specifically Isaiah. I did a brief overcap. This is going to be the exact same thing that's already out there. The first part of Isaiah is the oracles before the Syro-Ephraimite war. It's the vision that Isaiah, the son of Amoz, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the reigns of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. It is against a thoughtless people that understand nothing, retarded people. Okay, it's the punishment of Judah, sinful nation, people weighed down with guilt, breed of wrongdoers, daughters left like a shed in a melon patch. Few survivors. We got against religious hypocrisy, a lament for Jerusalem, who has become a harlot, and against tree worship. Chapter 2 of Isaiah is everlasting peace, and it's the vision concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days to come. A tower above the mountains shall be lifted higher than the hills. All nations will stream to it. A law will go out from Zion, wield authority over the nations, adjudicate between many peoples, hammer swords and the plowshares, spears and the sickles. Nation will no more train for war. It won't be civil war anymore. No more nation against nation. The coming of the Lord starts on 2.6. It says, yeah, you cast off your people, O retarded house of Jacob. The land is full of soothsayers, sorcerers, pride, arrogance. It's a prophecy about the day will fling to moles and bats the idols of silver and the idols of gold that they made for worship. Isaiah 3 is anarchy in Jerusalem. See how the Lord is taking from Jerusalem every kind of support. Bread, water, food, that sounds like food stamps. Hero, man-at-arms, judge, prophet, diviner, elder, captain, nobles, counselor, soothsayer, sorcerer. I'm going to give them boys for princes and raw lads to rule over them, because the people bully each other, neighbor against neighbor. A lout abuses a noble. Everybody tries to catch his brother in his father's house. Happy is the virtuous man. He's going to feed on the fruit of his deeds. Woe to the wicked. Evil is on him. He's going to be treated as his actions deserve. All my people are oppressed by a lad. You are the ones who destroyed the vineyard. You conceal what you stole from the poor. Isaiah, the end of 3 is a warning to the women of Jerusalem that walk with their heads held high and enticing eyes as they mince along, tinkling bangles on their feet. I don't know if that's the prisoners. Sounds like prisoners. A warning to the women that he's going to give a stink, sackcloth, brand marks instead of beauty. Chapter 4 is widows of Jerusalem. women fighting over a man, the remnant of Jerusalem. Those left in Jerusalem noted down for survival. Future restoration. When the Lord washes away the filth of the daughter of Zion and cleanses Jerusalem, which is like the city of the blood shed in her, with the blast of judgment and the blast of destruction. Isaiah 5 is a song of the vineyard. Let me sing to my friend a song of his love for his vineyard. My friend has a vineyard on a fertile hill. He dug the soil, cleared it of stones, planted choice vines. In the middle he built a tower, and he dug a press there. The other one said dug a pit. He expected it to yield grapes, but sour grapes was all it gave. I'm not reading it all. This is a brief overview. Isaiah 5 also ends with the anger of Yahweh and the Assyrian invasion. Chapter 6, the book of Emmanuel, is the call of Isaiah and King Uzziah's death. The Lord, seated on a high throne, his train filled the sanctuary. It's a very glorious image there in Isaiah 6. Isaiah 7 is the first warning to Ahaz. And I guess they were going to make a deal. The second warning to Ahaz, the sign of Emmanuel. The birth of a son to Isaiah. And that son's name was Maler-Shalal-Hash-Baz. That's Isaiah 8. And before this child knew enough to call mother and father. The wealth of Damascus and the booty of Samaria was going to be carried off. Shiloh and the Euphrates, those sound like rivers. This people refused the waters of Shiloh. That's interpreted as the only spring of water in Jerusalem. Terror for the invaders starts at line 9. Said, know this, you invaders, you peoples, you will be crushed. Listen, far off nations, arm yourselves and you're going to get crushed. Devise a plan and it is thwarted. Put forth an argument and there's no substance in it. God is with us. Yahweh is a stone in the way. This version says Yahweh. Isaiah addresses his disciples. And wandering in the night is line 21 through 23. And the Epiphany starts chapter 9. The vengeance of the Lord. The Lord hurls a word against Jacob. Woe to the legislators, that starts Isaiah 10. Woe to the legislators of infamous laws, and to those who issue tyrannical decrees, who refuse justice to the unfortunate, and cheat the poor among my people of their rights, who make widows their prey, rob the orphan. What will you do on the day of punishment? When from far off destruction comes, to who will you run for help? Where will you leave your riches? Nothing for it but to crouch with the captives and to fall with the slain. His hand is raised to strike. That's the end of Isaiah 10:4. Line 5 starts against the king of Assyria. Woe to the king of Assyria. Woe to Assyria, the rod of my anger. The club brandished. The club brandished by me. In my fury, I sent him against a godless nation. I gave him a commission against people that provoke me, to pillage and plunder freely. The end of this is the middle of Isaiah 10 is the name Shir Jashub. That day, the remnant of Israel and the survivors of the house of Jacob, if they made it out alive. the survivors, will stop relying on the man who strikes them and will rely on Lord, the Holy One. Prophecy of destruction. Israel, your people may be like the sand of the seashore, but only a remnant's going to return. A destruction has been decreed that will bring inexhaustible integrity. Yes, throughout the country, the Lord will carry out the destruction he has decreed. Don't be afraid of the Assyrian who strikes you at the club. A little bit longer, and his fury is going to come to an end. That's the oracle. And then we have the invader. He advances the district of Rimmon, reaches Aiath. Isaiah 10 looks really good. You should read that. Number 11 is the coming of the virtuous king, a shoot from the stock of Jesse. Return of the Exiles, and 2 hymns of thanksgiving is 12. 13 is an oracle on foreign nations, an oracle against Babylon. Isaiah 13, I think, talks about, these people that are just cutting up the baby boys, all crushed to pieces. That's line 18. No mercy. These people had no mercy on their children, on the fruit of their womb. No pity for their children. All right, the return of exile is 14. And the satire on the death of a tyrant. Broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the tyrants, who angrily thrashed people blow after blow. Once again, the oracle against Babylon. Assyria will be destroyed, and a warning to the Philistines, and a lament for Moab is Isaiah 15. Moabs take refuge in Judah is the 16. Lament for Moab, and an oracle on Moab is the end of 16. 17 starts the oracle on Damascus and the end of idolatry. Also against the gardens of Adonis. You think of like Adonis like gorgeous person. Against the gardens of some pretty person, maybe. All right, the upsurge of the nations is Isaiah 17, starts on line 12. And the oracle against Cush is Isaiah 18. 19 is the oracle against Egypt and the conversion of Egypt and Assyria. 20 is the prophecy of the capture of Ashdod. 21 is the fall of Babylon and the answer to the Edomites. The oracle on the Arabs and against Kedar. 22 is the untimely rejoicing in Jerusalem. It's an oracle against the valley of Hinnom. Your rulers have all fled, been captured before bending their bows, before they hurt anybody else. The bravest among you have been taken prisoner. Against military preparations, you turned your gaze that day to the armory of the house of the forest, breaches in the citadel of David. Against Shebna is line 15, and another oracle against Shebna, line 19, and the calamity of the family of Eliakim. And 20, well, that's only one line. It says, on it will hang all the glory of his father's house, the offspring and issue, all the least of vessels from cups to pitcher. That day it is that the Lord who speaks, the peg driven into a firm place will give way. It will be torn out and will fail, and the whole load hanging on it will be shattered. That's the calamity of the family of Eliakim. 23 is the oracle on Tyre and the subjection of Tyre and Sidon. The Apocalypse, is part D, chapter 24. The sentence of it, the city in ruins, a psalm to sing, I guess, during it, and an oracle telling you to just go in your rooms, shut your doors, hide, until the wrath is past. Isaiah 27, the day that the Lord will punish with his sword, massive, strong, Leviathan, the fleeing serpent, and Leviathan, the twisting serpent, and he will kill the sea dragon. The vineyard of the Lord, Isaiah 27, a pardon for Jacob and punishment for the oppressors, 27, and an oracle. 28 is a warning to Samaria. These are poems on Israel and Judah against the priests and false prophets, against evil counselors. An oracle and a continuation of the poem against evil counselors. Parable of the farmer, oracle on Ariel, and the secrecy of the revelation. Okay, for every vision has become like the words of a sealed book. You give it to somebody able to read and say, read that. And he replies, I can't because it's sealed. Or else you give the book to somebody who cannot read and say, read it. And he replies, I can't read. Okay, so right after that, this is Isaiah 29, the secrecy of the revelation and the oracle against evil counselors, against the embassy to Egypt. Yeah. You're on camera making a video, but I can cut it. Should I cut it? Sure. Oh, you're lighting up a bunch of shit on dumpster firing for me? Alright, love you, bye. Where were we? Dumpster fire. The Gospel of Joe. No, I'm just kidding. The Testament of Isaiah and the second oracle against the embassy, talking about the oracle on the beasts of Negeb, the coming prosperity. Assyria will be sacrificed against Egypt. The Lord wages war against Assyria. The integrity of the king, contrast between the fool and nobles, Isaiah 32, and a warning to the idle women, salvation from the Lord, and a psalm of hope in the Lord. That's Isaiah 33. The intervention of the Lord, the glorious future, and the end of Edom is 34. The judgment of God, line 35. 36 is Sennacherib's invasion. The prophet Isaiah is 37. The prophet Isaiah is consulted, I guess, by King Hezekiah. The cupbearer returns to his master. And the second account of Sennacherib's activities, and Isaiah intervenes. This is what the Lord God of Israel said in answer to the prayer you have addressed to me about the Sennacherib, king of Assyria. Here's the oracle that the Lord has pronounced against him. She despises you. She scorns you. That virgin daughter of Zion. She tosses her head behind you, the daughter of Jerusalem. Okay, we have a sign for Hezekiah. An oracle on Assyria. Sennacherib is punished. And the illness and cure of Hezekiah is 38. The canticle of Hezekiah and the Babylonian embassy is 39. 40 is book 2 of Isaiah. It's the book of the consolation of Israel and the calling of the prophet, prophecy of the theophany. The majesty of God, the might of providence, the calling of Cyrus, God is with Israel, and the miracles of the new Exodus is the end of Isaiah 41. It's the miracles of the new Exodus. The Lord is the only God. The Lord foretells victory for Cyrus. I roused him from the north to come. And the first song of the servant, part 1, that's Isaiah 42. And part 2 contains a hymn of triumph, the blinding of the people, 42, and the liberation of Israel, 43. The Lord alone is God, and Babylon will be destroyed. Miracles of the new Exodus, the ingratitude of Israel, and a blessing for Israel is 44. Monotheism without compromise, a satire on idolatry, an oracle and a song of joy, still 44. And the might of the Lord, oracle in favor of Cyrus, and an oracle on salvation, the supreme power of the Lord. The heathen will rally to the Lord, evidence of the work of the Lord, and the Lord is God of all. The fall of Bel. The Lord is without equal. The Lord is Lord of the future. And there's a lament for Babylon on 47. 48, the Lord acts alone, is the sole master of the future. Cyrus is beloved of the Lord. What the Lord intends for Israel, and a song of departure from Babylon is 48. 49 is the second song of the servant, and the marvelous epic of the return. 50 is an offer of salvation, remains open, and the third song of the servant of the Lord. The servant speaks. That's still Isaiah 50, an exhortation to follow the servant. And 51 is the salvation of the sons of Abraham. The Lord will soon judge the world, and the awakening of the Lord. The Lord is an all-powerful counselor, and the salvation and awakening of Jerusalem. That ends 51. 52 is the nation in captivity, and the awakening of the Lord and of Jerusalem, and the fourth song of the servant of the Lord. And the fertility of Jerusalem is 54. Oh, the fourth song is 53. The love of the Lord and the new Jerusalem ends up 54. 55 is the food of the poor, the covenant, and the nearness and remoteness of the Lord. The word of the Lord cannot fail. And at the conclusion of the book of consolation starts on line 12 of chapter 55. 56 starts part 3 of the book of Isaiah, where the Lord welcomes the converts from paganism. It talks about the unworthiness of the leaders of Judah, prophetic elegy against idolatry, a poem of consolation. It talks about fasting and the Sabbath, and a Psalms and fragments of an apocalypse starts line 15, and an oracle. The glorious resurrection of Jerusalem starts chapter 60. 61 is the mission of the prophet. 62, second poem of the glorious resurrection of Jerusalem. 63 is an apocalyptic poem of the vengeance of the Lord. And a psalm, 64, I guess, is still that. Psalm 65 is a diatribe against idolatry, eschatological discourse, in an oracle against the intrusion of idolatrous practices, and apocalyptic poem is 66, which is the final chapter. So it also contains the fragment condemning the pagan mysteries and the eschatological discourse gathering nations of every language shall come to witness my glory, and give them a sign, and send some of their survivors to the nations that have never heard me or seen my glory, and they will proclaim my glory to the nations. They will bring all your brothers, horses, chariots, litters, mules, dromedaries, and from nations to my holy mountain in Jerusalem, says the Lord, like Israelites bringing oblations in clean vessels to the temple of the Lord, and some of them I will make priests and Levites. For as the new heavens and the new earth I shall make will endure before me. It is the Lord who speaks, so will your race and your name endure. From new moon to new moon, from Sabbath to Sabbath, all mankind will come and bow down in my presence, saith the Lord. And on their way out they will see corpses of men who have rebelled against me. Their worm will not die, nor their fire go out. They will be loathsome to all mankind.